It's cozy season. You need blankets, pillows. You need mugs. You need
You know what I want?
tea koozie. What's your cozy season must-haves?
Holiday-themed glasses and dishware. You know, I finally got my little Christmas plates that I've wanted for years and years and years last Christmas. I want like some sort of
Not
like...
my culture, but
I know it's
respect
not your culture, but I want more like Christmassy drinkware, plateware.
Okay, well, you know a great place to get that.
Wayfair.
Yeah, you gotta be stocking up at Wayfair.
I'm stocking up at Wayfair.
Because not only are you going to get the cozy items that you so desire, but you're going to get great deals on the cozy items you so desire. Because Wayfair has great deals on things your home actually needs, especially before the holidays. They have everything from sofas to spatulas. You name it, they have it. They also have styles you can't find anywhere else. No cookie cutter stuff that everyone else has, so you can make your home way more you. Right now, you can shop Wayfair's insane holiday deals and get up to 70% off during their Black Friday deals.
You know what items I'm all ready for thanks to Wayfair?
What items?
Christmas napkins. It sounds silly, but I want them and I like them.
Get them.
Christmas, they've got little Christmas trees on them.
Get
and
them.
They're napkins.
Just
okay?
just have me over and make cookies.
And you'll go, not my culture, when you like wipe your mouth, but that's fine. That's
no,
totally
I'll say
fine.
these are gorgeous.
Thank you. Don't miss out on saving big with Wayfair this holiday. Head to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday deals. That's WAYFAIR.com.
You will dream it.
Yo, they wanna know.
Hey,
Mia.
hey,
Mia.
Come on.
hey. I want to be famous.
Welcome to Who Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Bobby Finger.
I'm Lindsay Weber, and before you break news on this podcast this morning, I just have to say we are doing a big announcement. We're obviously going on tour this fall, but we just announced for our Patreon only, a Patreon pre-sale. Tickets on sale for the general public later this week, but for our Patreons only, this morning we put some shows on sale at the Bell House this summer. So get over there. If you're not a patron, maybe now's the time to sign up to get that code, to get those tickets before they obviously sell out.
Yes, patreon.com/whoweekly. I have breaking news. It's something I didn't know. Maybe you knew it, Lindsay. I'm going to take a swing and say you didn't. Here's a Daily Mail headline. Rebel Wilson posts rare photo of mother Sue Bounds and reveals her unique career. Do you know what Rebel Wilson's mother does? It's like on Wikipedia, but I didn't know this, and I've fallen into a rabbit hole.
When am I Googling what does Rebel Wilson's mother do?
Any guesses?
Her name is Sue Bounds.
Sue Bounds, because I believe Rebel's name is Melanie Bounds, her government name.
Rebel Wilson's name is Melanie Bounds?
I believe so. This is when I got into a little feud with Rebel Wilson. But yeah, I think it's Melanie Bounds.
I don't know what her mother does.
Want to take a guess as to like the genre of job?
She's a male person.
Okay.
What do you want me to guess?
I'll take it. No, she's a dog judge. She judges dog shows. She's also been a dog handler, but she's been judging dogs professionally since 1980. And this is a fourth generation thing because it started with Rebel Wilson's mother's great-grandparents. She is a fourth generation dog handler / judge.
Wow, that's incredible. So this could have been what Rebel was doing if not rebelling.
Exactly. Rebel's sister, Liberty, is also a dog judge. Or a dog handler.
Oh, so okay.
She's following in the
God.
business. Dogs have been in Sue's life since she was a young child when her grandparents bought the family their first dog. She's a fourth-generation dog shower and began handling as a 5-year-old. I had no idea. I was reading this earlier and literally crying. I couldn't believe it for some reason.
What?
I don't know why I was laughing so hard.
What charmed you so much about this information?
Well, the thing that charmed me was that literally, like, you've got all these Australians for years, decades and decades, and it's like, now you're going to be a dog handler. Now you're going to be a dog handler. Now you're going to be a dog handler. And then Rebel Wilson is like, I'm going to be in Bridesmaids.
With a shared love of canines, Rebel went on to host the Australian TV show Pooch Perfect in 2020 on Channel 7. The series saw 10 professional dog groomers go head-to-head in a series of themed challenges.
Hello, I'm Rebel Wilson reporting live from PNN, Pooch News Network. Tonight, of course, is the Pet Gala.
So in a way, she is carrying on the family tradition of dog grooming.
Yeah, she is. See, do you understand why this is funny?
I mean, it's funnier that you think it's so funny.
Yeah, it's really funny to me. I don't know. Like all the photos of her,
Think of
she
all-
looks so much like Rebel Wilson too, but she's like holding a giant dog ribbon.
Oh, is that what's kind of killing you?
Yes. She's always posing next to like a big dog ribbon and like a tiny little Westie.
Listen, so The Guardian wrote about Rebel Wilson because of when she was in the trial against Bauer Media that she won. So this headline is Rebel Wilson's siblings argue family has tradition of unusual names at trial. Rebel Wilson's sister Annalise often goes under the name Anarchie and was once called on the leash by her siblings in a tongue-in-cheek reference to their mother's love of dogs. And the Hollywood's actor's
On a
infant
leash.
niece was nearly named Disney, and her little brother is an online poker player who uses the moniker Riot, the court heard. Riot, like rebel. Riot, rebel. The Wilsons' other sister, Liberty Mayer, says she was given her name at birth and wanted to give her own child a similarly unusual name. Okay, Mayer said her friends and family talked her out of using Disney as a first name for her daughter, so convinced she was a family connection. She, my daughter, does some baby modeling, and for that she uses Sovereign Wilson. Okay, so the entire family is a little bit
Cuccoloni?
nuts.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to read the book. I'm gonna have to read the book. I gotta say, I'm gonna have to read the book.
Can you imagine sitting through this trial where all of Rebel Wilson's siblings are like, my name's Liberty, my name's Riot, and then Rebel Wilson wins $4.1 million. You're sitting through and you're like, there's no way that the court's gonna kind of put up with this stuff. And it's like, nope, give her $4 million. Bye-bye.
She wins. All the dogs in the room start barking in celebration. It's very strange.
They finally released her book in the UK, but they took out the
Sacha Baron Cohen stuff.
alleged defamation stuff.
Yeah. Which is so, I mean, I get it, but it's like, it's not that hard to get the other copy, you know?
Well, the internet exists.
Right.
So yes, you can read the book and then also see what they cut out of the book.
Right. Let's move on to other stories of the week. I don't know how to appropriately transition to this. Cait Bailey was profiled in the New York Times. Why do we care about Cait Bailey? Have we ever talked about her? I obviously know the name and so do you, but we've never talked about her, right?
No, she does PR. Yeah, so she is a Thampy. We added an I for interpreter. Thampy. She is the PR, the P in Thampy. And we don't usually, it's like sometimes we don't really have these Thampies to talk about. But I did read this profile of her in the New York Times, and I was kind of like, okay, she's getting kind of a glamorous styles profile because she is the publicist for a specific type of celebrity, which is that she like noticed TikTok before anyone and kind of made that her thing and got lucky because she rode that wave, and TikTok people are making more money than a lot of other people on social media. So she was able to kind of like ride that, right? Like she represents like Alex Cooper and Alex Earl
and the D'Amelios.
Right. D'Amelios were her first client,
Yeah.
I think. In this piece, they talk about how she like went to their house and was like pitching herself, and they were like, who are you? The other thing about her that is really adds into the TikTok angle of it all is that she dates Mario Carbone, the owner of, yes, the restaurant Carbone.
What if your name were Mario Carbone and you weren't the owner of Carbone? Like, you gotta change it. I was like, could he be? When I saw the name, I was like, could he be? Is he? Could it? And it was like, well, of course he is, fucking dummy. Yes.
This really is one of the chicken and the egg situations where you're like, is Carbone a like TikTok famous restaurant because Mario Carbone this whole time has been dating this like PR maven? Or is it that because of her?
No,
like,
no.
You're kind of, what do you mean?
Carbone was a hot, trendy restaurant before TikTok was a thing.
But like, it wasn't this hot and trendy. It wasn't on this level. Like a lot of restaurants in New York are like hot and trendy.
I just
but,
don't know that I could
not
blame.
like
Oh God, now you've got me falling down a conspiracy hole that like I don't want to be
opening
down.
in Miami, like just a very specific type of pop. I'm just wondering, like, it's not about whether it made it good or well reviewed or the food being good. It's more about the angle in which Carbone, like the celebrity sphere in which Carbone exists. I do wonder. You're kind of seeing behind the scenes, and you're like, I don't know. I mean, this article claims that it's separated as well because they met when she represented one of my favorite, who's Shay Mitchell, and Shay Mitchell wanted to go to Carbone, and so like called in, got a seat at Carbone, like used her name, dropped her name, got a seat at Carbone, and brought
Shay Mitchell.
brought Cait Bailey. Shay
Oh,
Mitchell did it.
okay.
And then that's how Mario Carbone met Cait Bailey, and they've been dating ever since.
And yes, Alex Earl has been to Carbone on TikTok and posted little TikToks
Well, of
about
course. They've all been, right. So
Okay,
is
well,
Alex
I don't like
Cooper.
thinking about this. This is upsetting. You're probably right.
I'm reading, I was reading the whole history of like how Carbone started. It's like he worked at every single good restaurant. And then he, you of course come into contact with like an investor and they're like, how about your own restaurant? Like, the Teresi guy was like, let's, something. It's kind of a boring thing. You can read it.
And then there's the Vitolos, Emilio Vitolos, who are doing their own thing.
Of course. Of course. But they're not even with Carbone is so like Disney World food now. Not like in terms of quality, in terms of just like there's one in Miami, there's one in Las Vegas, like
Yeah.
vodka pasta. Blame the VIP girls, blame the VIP girls.
It's funny the way that like it says Cait Bailey can't avoid the spotlight. She'd prefer to keep a low profile is literally the deck. And it's like, no, she doesn't. Like, she just doesn't post on Instagram. She definitely wants a New York Times piece because she wants to be, what am I trying to say? Sorry, cut this. She wants to be like inflated for her clients. Like she wants to look good for her agency and her clients, and she wants better clients and new clients,
Well, she was posting Instagrams and then she
deleted
deleted all of them. And then people were like, why'd she delete them? Is she breaking up with her boyfriend? And then it was like, she was like, no, I just want to delete them because like they're outdated. But I do think that is kind of a like Instagram is over type vibe, which I think we all feel.
Yeah, I
like
think we
how
all feel
nobody wants to post to the grid anymore.
Yeah. Every time someone posts to the grids, it's like, fine, here's a dump. Okay, here's a dump.
No, it's very reluctant. And also, I did notice that her Instagram handle is Who is Cait Bailey? So like even she is like tongue in cheek knowing that people are searching who is Cait Bailey, or like that's the thing. Yeah. Like who is she? Who is she? She's the woman behind the celebrity or something.
The photo of her in like what appears to be a 1985 Mercedes at the top is so funny because it looks like a production photo of from Working Girl. Like she's giving like old school.
No, it's kind of amazing. Like she is almost purposefully being styled like right, almost styled like it is an old movie.
It's really interesting.
No, it also is just really giving Miami.
Yeah.
To me.
Oh, okay, you're right.
I think they live in Miami now. I think they moved there
to open the new Carbone. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. That's already too much time on Cait. I want to talk about Sophia Bush.
Sophia Bush is the cover story in Glamour. She's the cover. She's on the cover of Glamour.
She wrote the cover
and she wrote her own. Yeah, there's nothing like a celebrity writing their own cover story. Do I like this? Absolutely not. I don't think we should let celebrities write their own stuff.
Well, not to be a little. Also,
that's what Instagram's for.
Yeah, but also let's assume that she probably had a co-writer. Come on. Celebrities love to hire writers they adore to write for them. I'm not
saying she wrote it herself in real life, but I'm saying it says by Sophia Bush. And we're not getting any sort of explication, background, scene setting. It's just like a screed of personal, bleh.
What you said that was so clarifying to me earlier is I read this and I was like, okay, well, first of all, we knew that Sophia Bush was Butch. we knew that we knew that Sophia Bush was queer.
Well,
queer.
She's not Butch.
Right, she's not. That's why I laughed. That was a very weird giggle.
that was a good giggle.
We knew that Sophia Bush is queer.
Stop.
I knew this, right? We knew about the whole thing with the soccer player Ashlyn. Like this has been discussed to death. And then she's on the cover of Glamour. She gets the headline, I feel like I can breathe. And you kind of go into it thinking it's going to be this like, I don't know, at least I did, like it's going to be about this like coming of age, like it's going to be about sexuality, it's going to be about coming out, it's going to be about identity.
It's a coming out story.
And I read it and I was sort of like, it's nice and I'm happy for her for like figuring herself out like at this stage in her life. We love the stories like this. I talk about this all the time. Love queer stories about people coming out when they're over 25 or 30. Great, amazing, cool. But there was something a little weird about it where you're sort of like, wait, I don't really understand why now, why this, why her, what is this story? And you said,
why her? She's famous and it's Glamour.
But what you said that I was like, oh, that's so right. You were like, the whole thing, you think it's going to be about identity, but really all you're really trying to say, the subtext of this whole piece is, I did not cheat. And I think you're right. I think this is coming from a very defensive place.
Feels like almost like a defensive, like we're leading up to the kind of denial and the walkthrough. It's like, you think I cheated because of the timing, but actually here's the exact walkthrough of like what happened and how I met this person and how we got together.
And it's a nice story.
And you're like, no, but the idea of like where that is placed in the story and how it leads up to it is very much like, oh, wait, so this entire thing is in service of that denial of cheating. And then you kind of feel like, oh, so like what even is this piece? It takes away from the rest of it being anything about like, oh, here's my story. I actually like, here's my identity. I'm so happy. And the other thing that I noticed was, did you notice when she had that aside where she said, there were accusations of me being a homewrecker. The ones who said I left my ex because I suddenly realized I wanted to be with women. My partners have known I'm into that as long as I have. So that's not it. Y'all, sorry. So that like little cheeky aside is kind of like, okay, so you actually have been queer to all of your partners
Out to all of your
for
partners.
a long time.
That's
so
a story
in a way,
I want to hear.
Yes, and also like having that, having like your truth being known by your community and your friends and your family, but and your partners, but not like it being in the public. Like that's what the story
Well, that's
is.
you
but
as the
then,
editor
like, she
being
doesn't
like,
get into
Sophia,
it.
focus on this.
But also maybe that's the reason why this piece isn't so like, wow, it's so amazing to be out at 40 because she already has essentially been out this, you know, like,
yes.
and then she's kind of like, oh, I can't believe I had to come out in 2024. It's like, well, because you're famous. Like she's saying like, oh, it's because of all the attacks on the community. Sure. Yes, I agree. But it's also because you are a public figure. So therefore, yes, you do have to kind of like say things clearly.
Yeah. It's
unfortunately because people are stupid, you know.
But ultimately this piece feels like kind of unnecessary damage control. Like I don't see her as having like a damaged reputation for the rumors surrounding this relationship, but it's clear that
I think
she
people
does
care a
believe
lot
that.
more than us.
Yeah.
Well, also I think that if you're like a soccer fan and you loved that couple, like Ashlyn and the other one, like together, you are still feel very like hurt by all of this. I mean, I don't know how personally you're taking it, but like, of course, you know, the fact that Ashlyn has kids comes up, and like, of course, all these things, you know, but it does feel like a very defensive thing. And also they don't even talk about like why Sophia Bush is like even a thing. Like they barely talk.
It is first person. So she's not going to be like, Sophia Bush was born in Pittsburgh and whatever. Like you're not going to get that.
Okay, and Bobby, but that's why I like don't like that it's first person, because I'm kind of like,
you want profile
like, okay,
anecdotes.
how did this woman go from being like on One Tree Hill to like hosting multiple podcasts and being called an activist? Like I want to know. And I just feel like, again, if you write it first person, you're not going to have that. And I get, but that, and this first person shit, this is what Instagram's for. It's not for Glamour. Like Glamour needs to like give me a little bit of like story here, you know?
Yeah. We need like an opening.
It's not interesting.
It would be funny to have a first person profile from a celebrity that is also structured and written as though it is written by a second party, where
like
it's
they're
like
writing
where
it
it's
about
like,
themselves.
I twist my
What?
legs and stand out of bed. I walk into the bathroom when I first see Sophia Bush in the mirror. You know, like that sort of
Me.
thing.
Hello. Right. Like I think she should have had to describe her own scandal before denying it
Yes.
to give me context
Yes.
on it.
How are you feeling now? And what's going on in your love life right now?
I feel like I've been wearing an 80-pound weighted vest for probably a decade.
So this leads into
God.
the fact that the story comes out, and then of course, great timing. It's the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which apparently is like an event you can just attend if you're like, it doesn't matter if you're famous or not. You can just attend it.
If
No,
a
it's
news organization who buys a table at the White House Correspondents' Dinner invites you, you can go.
well, the Daily Mail's been trolling this event for like a
Years.
few years now, because every year they invite a Vanderpump Rules or Vanderpump Rules adjacent star. So like, but they stand out like a sore thumb. No offense to Brittany and Jax. I mean, all offense to Brittany and Jax. But like, it is just funny that last year they were like, we invited Lisa Vanderpump and Ariana Madix, and this year it's like, oh, we're
Right.
reuniting a couple that split up on a reality show alongside Al Gore,
Yeah.
you know, alongside like Ashlyn Harris and Sophia Bush, who are like, we're coming to you know, debut our relationship as a
Yes.
couple. But then Brittany is like, hello, I'm here too. Like, I'm so excited to be here, you know?
And I understand that accent now.
Why is tonight such a big event that Hollywood flies in and takes over DC?
I mean, it's just awesome. All the different people here, like Hollywood mixed with politics, with everybody. I just think it's super cool, and I'm happy to be invited.
Have you been here before?
No, this is my first time, so I'm really honored to be here.
And who are you a guest on?
Daily Mail. Yeah.
So, why do you think your show resonates with so many people and for so long?
I think that it's just super relatable. People get us. We're being very honest and open about so many things that we go through in life, and I think that people can definitely relate to that, and that's why they're love it. And they can escape from their own lives, watch us be crazy, and have a good time.
Do you ever get embarrassed?
Of course. Of course, all the time. But, it's part of it.
So tonight, when Colin Jost starts ripping on you, you're okay with that?
I'm okay with it. I was just saying, I hope he does. I think it would be funny.
The point, it's just funny how people are like, why are they at the White House Correspondents' Dinner? And it's like, you only have the Daily Mail to thank and to blame.
And then you go, because the media is corrupt.
Truly. And the fact that the Daily Mail even gets a table at the Correspondents' Dinner. I mean, they pay for it. I think it's like you pay. It's almost
for
like the
media organizations pay for tables, and a lot of media organizations don't go anymore. And so the Daily Mail is we're going to buy a big table, and then that has X seats, and we're going to give some of those seats to hilarious celebrities,
Exactly. But then and then it feeds itself because we're going to cover them in the Daily Mail with exclusive photos because they're our guests, and then it's going to come back around. No, it is kind of iconic.
What I think is so funny is that all of the journalists who take the White House Correspondents' Dinner way too seriously for my taste, because it's the whole thing is sort of wretched in its way, but they all call it nerd prom. They're like, last night at nerd prom, it's Scarlett Johansson and Colin Jost were there, and I'm like, honey, you losers down in Loserville can't call this place nerd prom anymore when Ariana Madix is there. That doesn't work anymore.
Well, right. I think nerd prom was when it was journalists.
Yeah.
And now it really is kind of celebrities.
Yes.
Just mostly other celebrities.
Sophia Bush was there with Ashlyn Harris. I'm sorry, you don't get to call this nerd prom when the coolest lesbians are in fucking
Rachel
gowns.
Brosnahan, Chris Pine, why are you Molly Ringwald, Lorne Michaels, it is Kerry Russell, Questlove. I'm just reading the names of people that were there.
Yeah.
It's it really is kind of now just an irrelevant list of random celebrities.
Yeah.
But then you have some politicians. Caitlyn Jenner was there. Give me a fucking break.
It's a stupid event. And Who Weekly will be buying a table next year. I'm kidding.
Honestly, at this rate, we might be offered a table at a discounted rate. Well, don't worry. We'll give some seats to patrons.
Yeah, we'll give some seats to patrons. Okay. Lindsay, tell me about the Girthmasterr. I hear he's the top 0.1% on OnlyFans.
Girthmasterr has come up in conversation at different events twice this past weekend, and I have to say it's been delightful because it really is something that brings people together. If you know about Girthmasterr, you're kind of oh, that's so fun. Yeah, let's talk about Girthmasterr. And if you don't, you're kind of just damn, let me look that up, or tell me more.
I sitting on one end of a long table and then hearing the word Girthmasterr and turning, and then Lindsay's in a very what is the word? Gesticulation heavy chatter about Girthmasterr.
Well, you have to kind of show girth with your you kind of have to illustrate it. So this is a very not safe for work conversation.
We're talking about a Girthmasterr. I think it should speak for itself.
And usually we're not talking about, porn actors, sex workers. We're not really kind of this is not something Who Weekly really gets into.
They're usually not breaking through like this. We talk about porn actors when they are celebrities who were originally famous for something else, who dabble in OnlyFans, right? And they usually leave it, right? And they're like, oh, I gave it a shot and then I don't want to do it anymore.
I am pleased that top 0.1% of OnlyFans is just a random Australian named Girthmasterr, not somebody famous, It's nice to know that we're out here supporting kind of just people with huge dicks. Okay, so Girthmasterr went viral in an actually charming way. That's why this is so fun for me.
Yeah.
There was a video. He was stopped by one of those man on the street interviews, which is obviously all the rage now. And we can play the clip here, but basically they're asking him about his job. Well, actually, you know what's funny? I was reading a bunch of interviews with him because now everyone's interviewing him. He went up to them. So he said, I'd seen them on TikTok. They're an app called Get Ahead, and they're promoting their job search app. And I approached them and I said, hey, I have a pretty cool job if you wanted to ask me about it. And they were like, okay, roll the camera, which is actually funny. So usually it's like you think they're stopping people, but like, no. Girthmasterr was like, damn. Girthmasterr was like, excuse me. Well, no, but not like they didn't know what he was going to say, but he said, I know I'm going to gag them with my job.
Okay.
So he goes up to them and
What do you do and how much do you make?
So I'm an OnlyFans content creator. I'm in the top 0.1% of earners on the platform worldwide. Between $40,000 and $80,000 a month.
What is your weekly work week like?
So typically I'll probably shoot a couple of times a week and like edit the videos, spend a lot of time marketing. I'd say I spend 60 to 80 hours a week working.
How long have you been in that role for?
I went full time a year ago. So it's been a pretty big year. I've like traveled to the States a few times to shoot content with some big names. Like I make videos. It's been really fun.
And this gets posted to Twitter and it goes viral because people start retweeting it and being like, if you know, you know, which I love because I didn't know. And I think what is incredible is that like if the world of porn actors is like a whole other celebrity sphere where like we're all knowing the same people, but like but not everyone is discussing it. Like I do think it is talked about in certain communities. Like I know that like gay guys love to talk about porn stars that they like publicly, and it's not a shame. It's not shameful.
Yeah.
It's not
it's on the main feed. It's on the grid. It's a Twitter joke.
And there are personalities, and a lot of those personalities are like tweeting too. And like because of OnlyFans, you kind of have to be more of a personality forward person than just like a guy with a big dick or whatever. So, but it's really funny because everyone's kind of like wink, wink. That's Girthmasterr, and Girthmasterr reveals also he doesn't have a real name, by the way. He doesn't reveal. That's why I'm calling him Girthmasterr.
He never reveals his real name. I didn't know that. I was expecting some reveal that his name is like Todd.
No, well, it is though. That's the thing. His name is probably just like Derek, you know? So he says, I only recently revealed my face. So also all these people who are like, that's Girthmasterr are like up on the new Girthmasterr.
Right. They just recognize the dick. And they're like, I know that girth. I'd recognize that girth anywhere.
No, they recognize his face from this video is what I'm saying. So because he like only recently started showing face,
I see what you mean.
Saying that's Girthmasterr, saw this man in like a regular pair of pants and a shirt and we're like, oh, if you know, you know, that's Girthmasterr. That's not just any guy making $80,000 in OnlyFans. That's the Girthmasterr. And if you're wondering why he's the Girthmasterr, I mean, like you can go investigate yourself, but let's just say he poses alongside a wine bottle to show scale. Is that all I need to say?
And the wine bottle is shaking, honey. Okay.
The wine bottle is like, So Girthmasterr goes viral because of this video. This Girthmasterr goes viral, but I just liked it because he went viral because of a video in which you don't even see the girth. You just see a random Australian guy being like, yeah, well.
He's an NSFW man going viral in an SFW way.
I was reading some of his interviews because I was kind of like, what's his deal? He's Australian.
He's very cute.
He was listing all the jobs he did before he, put the girth to use, and all of his jobs are porn jobs, like fake porn jobs. Like he was like, I worked as a handyman, a landscaper, a baggage handler, a pizza boy, a grocery stores. I did food service, clothing, retail, and it's like, every single one of those jobs is like the beginning of a porn.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
And he started the same way that we became friends on the internet. No, that's not the same way, but like
because I was posting dick on Tumblr. No, he started posting dick on Tumblr. I was not posting dick on Tumblr.
We became friends on Tumblr, and honestly, in another Tumblr around the same time, probably this man was posting big dick, and we were just posting like photoshops of funny movie posters. It's just funny that we all existed at the same time.
Well, this is funny because that was back in the day when Tumblr was half porn anyway, and then Tumblr famously got rid of the porn. But like,
which was a huge loss.
Girthmasterr was existing in this like parallel Tumblr that was as popular as non-porn Tumblr, but like he formed his entire professional life around this, the seed planted in Tumblr. And so I think it's funny that we have this in common with the seed really was planted. We really do have a lot in common with Girthmasterr, which I love.
Another fun fact about the Girthmasterr's seed is that he got a vasectomy.
King.
And the other fun thing I learned about him by watching a bunch of his, very safe for work TikToks was that his fans call themselves girthlings.
That's really nice. I like girthlings.
I know. Bobby was like, wait for him to get canceled.
Straight white guy with a big dick who like suddenly gets a lot of attention. I feel like the clock started ticking, but
God, I know. It's so true.
We have no evidence to back that up beyond like cultural
No, and
evidence.
he's a professional. He's a professional. But it's rare that kind of it's more of such a delightful, not like face value, almost silly, kind of viral moment for a porn actor.
Yeah, it's nice.
And it shows that, to me, it's really showing that we tend to think that OnlyFans is all like celebrities showing like foot, or showing like arm or showing
Sometimes
like a little
it's
nipple.
normal dudes showing a big dick.
Sometimes it's actual, professionals who are out here being like, oh, this is actual adult content that I'm showing you.
Yeah.
And I am blessed with the girth.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last few days, I've become the most talked about SW on the internet, hundreds of millions of views. And I've got mixed feelings about it. On one hand, I'm in the eyeballs business, and the more exposure that I get, the better for business. And it's going great right now, and I really can't complain about that. I've had opportunities on my plate that I'd be crazy to turn down. I was in Rolling Stone, I've been featured in a bunch of articles, given a bunch of interviews, and that's great. But on the other hand, I've almost become an unofficial representative for the industry. And it's an industry that I'm relatively new to. I've only been doing what I'm doing for the last couple of years, and I've only been showing my face for one of those years. So I really haven't experienced much of the drawbacks and sacrifice that a lot of the people in the industry have had to endure. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm a straight white male. I don't believe I'm representative of the industry as a whole. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'd be a minority. And there's a lot of people that I feel are more deserving of the opportunities that I've had, but haven't had the chance because, for whatever reason, they aren't as palatable to the mainstream media. Typically, whenever someone's gone viral the way I have, they get a lot of negative comments. They get a lot of hate. People bash female SWs online all the time, and the response to me has been overwhelmingly positive. Most men that comment say that they would do what I do if they had what I have, my genetic gift, let's call it that. And most women are commenting saying that it's unfair of me to get treated so well because they've endured so much and there's more deserving people. And again, that's valid. That's a valid criticism in my opinion. I've tried to use my moment in the spotlight to highlight the disparity between the way that male and female SWs are treated by the public. And while I can't control the direction that this takes, what I hope to achieve is that maybe people could treat my female colleagues with the same respect that they've treated me with. There's no reason that you should look at anybody else less than me because I do the same thing that they do.
I want to be famous.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Can't imagine it any other way. Whoweekly.us is a Squarespace. It will always be a Squarespace. We love our Squarespace.
Even if they said no more advertising on this podcast, we would still have it be a Squarespace because honestly, it's just the easiest, sanest way to have a website on the internet at this point.
Yeah. I really can't think of another option.
No, I wouldn't even know how to do another option at this point. It's like it is a perfect way. I know they have all the features I need. If there's a new feature that I need somehow in the future, I know that they're going to have it. Mm-hmm. Let's say there's something we need to do on this website that I can't even think of right now. I know that in the future
advances,
that they will have our back.
I trust that Squarespace will keep up.
Well, because right now it's like, we have our tour dates that we're able to change on a whim, which we need to. But Squarespace does plenty of other things. They've got, you could do a course, you could host a course, you could do analytics, you could do email campaigns, you can take payments, you can sell stuff. I mean, it's like
sell stuff
we could do whatever we wanted on Squarespace, and I am actually comforted knowing that I could do that in the future.
Yeah.
So head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/who and save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain. That's 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Hey friends, I'm Sharon McMahon, host of Here's Where It Gets Interesting. Each week I speak with authors, experts, and thought leaders on everything from American history and democracy to how to be a better person on the internet. And don't miss my extremely popular docuseries, which educate you on things you never learned in history class. Follow and listen to Here's Where It Gets Interesting on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Love my CB distillery. It helps me sleep. I love my they're called gummies. They have gummies and gummies. The gummies don't quite put me to sleep, but the gummies do put me to sleep. And I take them most nights, to be honest.
You do. I know you do because you tell me about it every time. You're like, well, that worked. And
I
for
know.
Bobby, nothing seems to be working. So this is an incredible breakthrough for you.
Genuinely a huge breakthrough for me. CB Distillery's targeted formulations are made from the highest quality, clean ingredients. No fluff, no fillers, just pure, effective CBD solutions designed to help support your health. In 2 non-clinical surveys, 81% of customers experienced more calm, 80% said CBD helped with pain after physical activity, and an impressive 90% among them, myself, said they slept better with CBD. So if you struggle with a health concern and haven't found relief, make the change like I did to CB Distillery. And with over 2 million customers and a solid 100% money-back guarantee, CB Distillery is the source to trust. We have a 20% discount code to get you started. Visit cbdistillery.com and use code WHO for 20% off. That's cbdistillery.com, code WHO. cbdistillery.com.
I want to be famous.
Song of Summer has been released. The Song of Summer is out. And if you're thinking, please stop talking about espresso.
Fine.
I'm not. Espresso is not even the Song of Summer anymore. It's been replaced.
Yes.
There is a new contender out here, and it is Vanessa Williams' Legs Keep Dancing. Okay?
They say the legs are the last to go. I'ma keep dancing. I'm still putting on the show. I'ma keep dancing till I can't do it no more. I'll go where they take me, 'cause the legs are the last thing. So I'ma keep dancing.
Vanessa Williams' Legs Keep Dancing. Vanessa Williams' Legs, parentheses,
Keep dancing.
Keep dancing. Have you seen this video yet?
I've watched it 3 times.
The concept of the song Legs Keep Dancing cracks me up because while it is catchy, if you listen to the lyrics, the concept is like, while your legs work, you gotta use them. Meaning, like, it is soon that your legs, like, you might be immobile. That's what Vanessa is saying.
Yes.
The legs are the last to go.
Yes.
She named that she was inspired to write this song after autobiography, the memoir of Diane Carroll's 2008 memoir, The Legs Are the Last to Go, Aging, Acting, Marrying, and Other Things I Learned the Hard Way.
It's like that's an explicit reference. And that's why it's sort of, because she's referencing the memoir title, it sort of makes the lyrics a little clunky. And then you're sort of like, that's kind of clunky. But then it gets stuck in your head because it's kind of so silly and cute.
And Diane Carroll is literally a legend. She was
Yes.
married 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She was married 4 times, and she also dated Sidney Poitier. So let's just say the girlie had the talent.
And her legs were the last to go.
She received an Academy Award for Best Actress nomination for her title role in Claudine.
I think of her from, I never watched Dynasty, but I always think of her from like Dynasty clips that go viral every once in a while on Twitter. And then you see like a Diane Carroll meme where she's just like doing something slay to like Jackie Collins or whatever. Sorry, Joan Collins. I confused them.
It's quite clever of you launching that counter takeover, Dominique. But I assure you that if it hadn't been for Blake, you would never have succeeded. So what do you want? I am here, Alexis, to give you something you would never give me. Fair warning. Ah, how ominous. From now on, every deal you make, every step you take, turn and look over your shoulder. Because sooner or later, I will be standing there. It's as simple as that.
Is Vanessa Williams them? I do feel like we are being a little rude by like.
Well, I was going to
including
transition
her,
into
but
that conversation next.
You were going to be like, she is a them, even though we are celebrating Song of Summer, Legs Keep Dancing.
Yeah.
But this is hooey.
It's hooey to be a kind of obvious them for, I mean, Vanessa Williams is obviously like a Grammy nominated, and I think maybe even won something, like singer, model, actor. Like Vanessa Williams is a true multi-hyphenate,
and
like a
she
generational
had the
multi-hyphenate.
scandal, like. Right, she like had the scandal. She had everything you need to have.
And she had, what was great is she had the scandal that was a completely unfair scandal that she was then sort of like vindicated for, which is the best type of scandal to have if you have a scandal, where it was like, she never did anything wrong, right? She was mistreated, which is awful, shouldn't have happened, but she sort of came out on the other side as the victor, where it was like, oh, we were so wrong treat Vanessa Williams in this way.
And it turned out she's like more talented than most Miss America recipients and like post Miss America stars. Like she went on to even do way more than that. Yeah.
But then sort of like when you haven't released a hit in a very long time, Save the Best for Last was unfortunately first, like when Legs Keep Dancing comes out randomly on a fucking like Wednesday in April, That's Hooey.
It is, yeah.
She's dancing. You know what? Vanessa Williams.
It is.
Better dancer than Dua Lipa. Those legs.
And she was just playing Miranda Priestley in the Devil Wears Prada
true.
musical, as everyone knows, because they saw those hands.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about like someone like Idina Menzel, who is, you know, these older women, as in older than your Sabrina Carpenters, than your SZAs, than your, you know, people who are on the Taylor Swifts, people who are on top of the charts now, trying to release dance music to sort of maintain relevancy or whatever. There's a version of it where you're sort of like, oh, honey, why you don't need to do this. Just do something you actually want to do. Like, you don't need to pander to the gays, or you don't need to pander to the clubs or whatever. This really just seems like she's having a great time and just thinks this is fun.
Right. Like, who is she pandering to? In a way, we're being rude, but also I feel like it's interesting. It's like, who is this for? It's very who is this for, but in a way that I respect. Because I'm like,
it's for her.
This is for you.
When it's for her, I love
it.
it. When you are trying to pander, it's very uncomfortable, and I don't mean to bring her up again, but that's how I felt about the Idina Menzel sort of like club wannabe club
like, why
anthems.
are you doing this? And it's like for her. She's doing it for herself.
And you look at her and you're like, you don't look very comfortable even doing this. Whereas Vanessa Williams is like filming a great video, posing for the cover art, like talking about it in interviews. She's having a great time.
My last album was 2009, so it'll be nice to get out again. I turned 60 last year, and my first single was all about being there, and it's called Legs. I'm really excited because I'm still here, still standing, and still kicking, and that's exactly what the first line of the whole song is. New music coming out and working on some theater stuff and producing. I've got 4 projects that I'm working on producing, so a lot of stuff in the till.
And I just noticed that I think a lot of like younger people are starting to rewatch Desperate Housewives or watch Desperate Housewives for the first time.
Oh my God, stop.
And I'm like,
you've been waiting
they're
for this
gonna
day.
discover
I don't know
Vanessa
if I
Williams.
believe you, but is it on something? Is that why?
I have no idea. I've just seen it pop up. Like from like younger gay hooligans we follow on our feed.
Are you checking ID? Okay, but are you like checking IDs? Like, how do you know they're actually of the age
No, I
you're
just think
claiming?
that they're in their 20s based on like, we follow them on Twitter because, you know, we follow some hooligans on Twitter. They seem kind of gay. And it'll be like diving in for the first time. It's a worthy rewatch. She doesn't show up until later, but she's great in it.
Oh my God, I can't believe the Met Gala is next week.
The first Monday in May, allegedly famously.
Speaking of the gala, do you think Quvenzhané Wallis will be there? Because guess what? The girlie is back and she's grown up.
She's back. Quvenzhané Wallis is back.
She kind of never went. Can I just be rude? She kind of didn't go anywhere, but people are like very much spinning it like she's back. Like, not to be, she deserves all of the glory, but we can't keep saying that she's back when she didn't really go. Like, she has been doing stuff. Just because you didn't see it, or just because this article's not going to mention it, doesn't mean she hasn't been still like working.
It's like a
she's 20, by the way.
It's like a it's like a stay-at-home parent
20.
like being in the kitchen like cooking, and then their kid gets home from school at 4:30, and then the parent goes, "Oh, you're back." It's like you just been at school. She's just been at school.
Yeah, well, she hasn't just been at school, Bobby. That was a bad analogy. She's been working. She's been doing jobs.
But she hasn't been doing that many jobs, you know?
Yes, she has. I don't want to hear that she took a break when I see her in Trolls, Blackish, American Horror Story, Swagger, and now this movie, Breathe.
Everybody, this is my girl, Stunts. Do you mind if she stays for dinner?
No, not at all. No.
I heard y'all got hella bread.
We do. Holla if you want some.
Okay.
Holla.
No, baby.
You got another name? Because I'm not calling you Stunts.
My government name is Susan.
Hate to admit it, you look more like a Stunts. I'm going to go guard my belongings. For no reason at all.
Starring, weirdly, Mila Jovovich and Jennifer Hudson and Common. Mila Jovovich, looks.
Jennifer Hudson and Common they're in a relationship. That's why they're in this together.
They are in a relationship. But I think Common sort of dies at the beginning. But Jennifer Hudson is like, I think, the hero, and Mila Jovovich is the villain.
Oxygen levels at 20%.
Dad?
Dad? Hello?
Mom, we haven't seen a living thing in 3 years.
The world can heal if we give it time. We just gotta keep at it.
Hello? Oxygen supply at 50%.
This mother and daughter are living in like a safe house that uses technology built by their, I think, dead father, played by Common. And Mila Jovovich is trying to break in and steal the technology, according to the trailer. It looks quite bad.
Oh, so they're like, get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
She's like, whatever.
You know?
I'm gonna make my way in there one way or another. And then Jennifer Hudson is like, we need to take her out.
Mila is she's such a good scary action hero.
She's very scary.
Girly.
She's very scary.
Yeah. Okay, that looks fun.
Yeah, and you know what? It's rentable now because it was a direct-to-streaming release.
Oh, it
came out like 2 days ago, direct-to-streaming.
Oh,
yes.
Great. Okay, so Quvenzhané Wallis gave an exclusive about being normal to E! Online, and that's what was making me be like, come on. And the headline is, How Quvenzhané Wallis Spent Her Break from Hollywood, quote-unquote, being normal.
This I actually think is interesting, to be fair, where she's just like, I don't even remember when I was like an Oscar nominee or whatever. Like,
because why would you? Do you remember anything you did when you were 9 years old? Like, do you actually?
Probably not much. Probably a little bit.
Okay, I don't remember anything. What do you remember?
I have memories from elementary school, for sure. You know, you're not remembering the day-to-day stuff where it's like, what was it like on set? And you're like, well, I really can't answer that question.
I was 9. And I have to say respect to her for admitting and not making shit up, because I think if I was in this position, I might just start making shit up. Oh, it was so great. You know what I mean? You would watch it back and you would say, well, here's how I must have felt, even if I can't quite remember it.
Top of mind, I just recently rewatched Independence Day, which co-stars Egg, a.k.a. Mae Whitman, as the child of
love Egg.
Bill Pullman. And she's quite young in it, but it's sort of like imagining her being like, well, I just remember how kind Bill Pullman was to me on set. And I remember I was sitting down with Jeff Goldblum one day and he told me, it's like, I don't believe you, Mae Whitman. I just don't believe you, Mae Whitman.
No.
And she's not pretending.
I would say that I do believe if you were 9 years old and you remembered somebody being nice to you, because I do think that like you do remember stuff like that, because that's more of an emotion versus like, and then we played ball and then I learned ABCs or whatever. It's like, no one's remembering that.
She says a nice line, which is almost sort of like profound. She goes, I feel like I remember the important things. I remember the feeling. I remember it was like to be there and to see all the adults and all these amazing people and being able to sit in the room with them. At 9, that's insane.
Well, I think you have to say, because of all of the kind of child star drama that we get, and the what's the most recent Nickelodeon one documentary that
Quiet
came
on
out,
Set.
like
Yeah.
you have to be like, I remember being treated well.
Yeah,
I remember being treated fairly. No one ever messed with me. No one ever, like you got to say stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was good, right? I was young, but it was good, and adults were nice to me.
The other funny exclusive that came on the heels of this movie coming out, Breathe.
From people got a separate exclusive from Quvenzhané.
Did you see Quvenzhané's septum piercing? She's very like,
Quvenzhané is
she's very
cool.
giving you.
She looks great, and she looks old, and it makes me feel old.
But not in a bad way. Old in a way that's like, oh, nice. The world keeps chugging along. But I like this because remember like when Jamie Foxx had his health scare a couple of years ago?
Remember, it was like a huge mystery.
It was a huge mystery that
really
still is a mystery.
Happened.
A movie shut down, then it started up again.
And he was dating Katie Holmes at the time. I'm still confused.
It's still crazy. We only call it a health scare because we don't know what happened. What's funny in this is that since she was in the Annie remake, also with Cameron Diaz, like 10 years ago, they talk about how her mother is texting Jamie Foxx a lot. And I think it's weird because it's like the subtext of every Jamie Foxx story in these times is that illness, right? It's like, oh, Quvenzhané's mom checks in on Jamie Foxx a lot, and he's great. I'm always trying to check in to make sure he's okay. You don't really see anything about the medical scare in this. They're not saying like, is he fine? Do you know what it is? It's just like gesturing towards that, which I find like we still walk on eggshells when we talk about like what happened to Jamie Foxx in whatever year it was, 2020.
Right. We're kind of waiting for somebody to kind of just drop it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, oops, I said it.
Oops.
He had a root canal. I'm kidding. What if it was he got a root canal? This whole time, Jamie Foxx just
had a root canal. Maybe a couple.
Yeah. And are we ever going to get the movie with him and Cameron Diaz? Like, where is that movie?
They shot it again. I think it is finished shooting.
Where is
because they ended it.
On.
He got sick. Production was halted. Then I know they went back to set to like keep going.
Back in Action, which says it's coming out in 2024, starring Andrew Scott, Cameron Diaz, Jamie Foxx, is kind of like we don't even know what's the update here.
We don't even know.
Yeah. Cameron Diaz's first film following her retirement, her previous film was Annie, which also starred Jamie Foxx, which, is on purpose. I think this is why they worked together
they're buds.
again.
They're buds.
I want to be famous.
I slept in a terrible bed at one of our dates this tour. I won't reveal where it was because I don't want to be super rude, but the bed was absolutely horrendous. Big dip in the middle. I was
Yeah.
always like rolling into the center. It was so bad. My back hurt so bad when I woke up. And guess what? When I got home, my favorite part of being home was getting in bed.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were like back into
finally,
my mattress.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's a real bed that was chosen for me based on a quiz, the Helix quiz.
Right. And sometimes when people use my mattress, they're like, that's a little soft. And I'm like, yeah, it's made for me, not for you.
For you.
Which actually even drives home the fact that it's so made for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I kind of relish in the fact. I mean, I don't want my friends to be uncomfortable, but I'm like, I kind of am like celebrating the fact that it's like for my body, not for yours.
Mm-hmm. I just sleep so much better on my own mattress than literally any other mattress. And that's because Helix mattresses rock. I wake up, my back doesn't hurt. I wake up, I don't have night sweats. I wake up and I'm thrilled. I wake up and I say, I love you, Helix.
That's
so
incredible.
If you want to experience the joy that I experience every
The
time I
joy,
get in bed,
the
and every time I get out of bed, you should go to helixsleep.com/who because you will get 25% off site-wide plus 2 free dream pillows with any mattress purchase. Plus, get a free bedding bundle, which includes 2 dream pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order at helixsleep.com/who. That's helixsleep.com/who.
Vet bills can be expensive, but Spot Pet Insurance can give you up to 90% cash back on vet bills, so you can worry less about high vet bills. Yep, up to 90% cash back on vet bills for unexpected accidents, illness, and even routine care. And with Spot Pet Insurance plans, you can go to any vet you want in the US or Canada. There's no network you need to stick to, so visit your favorite vet and you can save money on expensive vet bills. That's Spot Pet Insurance. It's no wonder Spot is America's favorite pet insurance. Visit spotpet.com for a free quote today. For all terms, visit spotpetins.com/sample-policy. Spot Pet Insurance plans are underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produce Spot Pet Insurance Services, LLC. This is an independent ad from Spot Pet Insurance Services, LLC.
You and I love to see when I'm shopping for gifts for the holidays and I'm online, I'm doing my normal shopping, I'm going through all the stores, and I see that little pop-up and it says, here's your cashback offer from Rakuten. And I say, all right. And I click that button and I know that whenever I buy something from that website for the holidays, I will be getting money back into my pocket. That's incredible.
Yeah. And yes, it's gift giving season. We're approaching gift giving season. I might be heading up to like wine.com or like Best Buy to get some gifts for people, but
eBay, Real, Urban Outfitters, Sephora.
Recently, I was on Zappos buying a new pair of shoes for myself. And I saw, I think it was a 10% cash back that I wasn't even expecting with the pair of shoes that I bought. And I was like, that's a slay. Because it's very easy to get that cash. It's like real money. It's not hard to get that money. They just transfer it into your PayPal account.
No, it's not hard. It's not hard.
Rakuten is the best way to save lots of money this holiday season because you can stack holiday sales and deals on top of cashback to maximize your savings at over 3,500 stores. That's called maximizing your joint sleigh. Stores will be at the highest cashback rates of the year, all the way up to 15% cashback at some of your favorite brands through the holiday season. Here's how it works. You go to your favorite stores, like we said, it's like Best Buy, Nike, Zappos, etc. And those stores pay Rakuten to send them shoppers, and Rakuten passes on a part of that money to members via PayPal or check. You get the cash back at hundreds of stores across every single category, including fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, and so much more. They also find you the best deals, sales, and coupons. They do the work of searching for coupon codes so you can save time and money. Plus, membership is free and it's easy to sign up. Join the 17 million members who are already saving. Start all of your holiday shopping at Rakuten.com or download the Rakuten app to start saving today. Your cashback really adds up.
I want to be famous.
Brandon Boyd from Incubus did a 25 Things You Don't Know About Me, which is kind of random.
Wait, I'm sorry.
What I like about this...
I wasn't expecting this such a quick move on to Brandon Boyd.
Well,
yeah.
what I found kind of funny about this is that... Did you put this in here?
No.
Okay. So Timmy put this in
Timmy
here.
did.
Because I put this in here and then I deleted it. And then... Like, I had it sort of in, and then Timmy must have seen it independently and was like, oh, Incubus is Brandon Boyd. Interests include fine art, French bulldogs, and fun guy. Exclusive. I'm going to put this in here.
Okay, that's funny.
It is a little bit
I had
funny.
nothing to do with this. I didn't see it the first time, and I didn't see it the second time.
Watching this, reading this again after I initially, shook it off, it is sort of funny and charming because it's a different kind of person for them. It's a rock star. And also like a nostalgic rock star. There's no real reason for this other than I think Incubus is still touring.
A band.
You know, they're a band that is still touring and making money and selling music. So, okay, cool. They're promoting a tour. But it's just sort of like he's in that stage of rock star where it's like, I'm no longer cool. I just like chilling
there's
out.
actually there's literally no peg to this.
No.
They're just like,
he's like,
Brandon
they're a band.
Boyd is an Incubus.
They still tour.
He gave them an exclusive 25 things. One of his longstanding loves is music. He co-founded Incubus, blah, blah, blah. Nearly 33 years later, they're still touring.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then it just starts.
Yeah.
There's no and he's releasing a line of dog leashes. Yeah. And he's
they are touring,
selling his organs.
It is based on the tour because they are doing.
But it doesn't even say they're currently on tour.
Lindsay, look at number 25.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay, fine. Well, 10 arena tour where they're performing Morning View and it's wow, they buried that lead. Yeah. That's a bad. I mean, our tour, we'd never kind of just bury that lead.
Never. But anyway, here's some things that you should know about Brandon Boyd. He's fascinated by plants and fungi. He'll talk about it all day if given the opportunity. He's fascinated with accents, dialects, and languages. He's fascinated about how other animals communicate. That's two things, but he puts it into one thing. Honestly, I don't want to read them anymore.
Yeah. Is that all that those are just three things he's fascinated by?
Yeah.
Great. Let's move on to something a little bit more interesting, which is that Noah Cyrus is still out here firing back.
This made me laugh so hard.
She's never been more on edge.
So we understand the weird love triangle that happened between her, Dominic Purcell, and her mother, Tish Cyrus. We don't have to get into it again.
We understand it.
She's never really spoken about it. We just know that via anonymous sources, this is probably what happened. On April 26th, I'm quoting E! Online, Noah shared an Instagram post that read, quote, "Dear Lord, when I get that's a typo. When I get to heaven, please let me bring my man." Quoting Lana Del Rey's song, Young and Beautiful. That's when one person referenced the alleged love triangle, commenting on Noah's post, quote, "Like that guy you and your mom both have sexy time with?" Noah responded to that person and wrote, "I'm so sorry, but will you please just choke on the fattest cock?" Okay, Girthmasterr, just for a little bit. Great, thanks. So the next line, E! Online editorializing, after saying, "I'm so sorry, but will you please just choke on the fattest cock just for a little bit? Great, thanks." While the 24-year-old neither confirmed nor denied the rumors, this marks the first time she has made a public comment in response to a remark about the alleged love triangle involving her and Tish. Having to
I know, E! Online having to be like, oh God, she broke her silence by saying choke on the fattest cock.
Writing 40 words, the longest possible meandering circular sentence about an alleged thing that is to have happened that Noah Cyrus has sort of commented on. It is painful to read, and I'm thrilled that they wrote it.
No, it's just so funny that she broke her silence. She's clapping back, and it's literally a comment to somebody else about maybe nothing, in which she says, just please choke on the fattest cock.
At Girthmasterr on OnlyFans.
Let's get into relationships. Here's a headline that made me laugh because there is nothing of substance in it. Nicholas Galitzine opens up about his dating life. I'm like, okay, great. I'm clicking. This guy is so mysterious. We love it. He has a sexy movie coming out with Anne Hathaway. Tell me about your dating life. Quote, "I am acutely aware that I am so lucky to do the job that I do, but it, like any job, has its pitfalls. The transience of the job, never really being in the same place at the same time as maybe family or relationships, can be difficult. That's why it's important to have people in your life to keep you grounded and keep your energy up, keep you going. It's also important to take breaks and have time. I think of it, blah, blah, blah. In a lot of ways, it's really difficult. Props are, okay, so literally nothing. Not one thing about his dating life. He doesn't say dating. He doesn't say relationships. He doesn't say anything about romantic entanglements in these quotes.
This is so premeditated and intentional. Nicholas Galitzine is in a stage in his career and taking the types of roles that I think require him to be a little mysterious. And he's in an early stage.
Jared, he's not opening up about anything, Just Jared. Get out of here with this headline.
Would you have clicked if it said Nicholas Galitzine doesn't open up about his dating life?
Yeah, I actually still would have clicked it. I still would have clicked it if it said Nicholas Galitzine says actually literally nothing about his dating life. I would have been like, oh, okay, interesting.
My first celebrity crush was Jessica Alba. I was obsessed with Jessica Alba for a period of time, and still am in a lot of ways. You know, she's the most beautiful human being, and the lips, incredible, but also a wonderfully talented person and an amazing businesswoman. I've heard she has incredible business acumen too, which I think is also very...
Speaking of Just Jared, you found something else.
So I was reading Just Jared yesterday.
Yeah, because you were trying to Google about Nicholas Galateen's dating life.
And there was a headline that said, Jimmie Allen talks welcoming twins with another woman amid his divorce. And I was like, oh, right, Jimmie Allen. There's sort of some darkness there. Jimmie Allen was, up-and-coming country star in the late 20-teens, early 2020s, and was doing really well. And then there was sort of shocking news that he was divorcing his wife, like last year, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that was followed by a cheating scandal. And then that was followed by sexual assault allegations. So Jimmie Allen's career sort of imploded in the past couple of years with all of this news surrounding his relationships and alleged behavior. Okay? We haven't really heard from him much. Then I see this headline, Jimmie Allen talks welcoming twins with another woman amid his divorce. Okay? Now wait. Just like, this is just gets really, 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 really weird. Jimmie Allen is opening up about his children and the timeline of his 3 youngest. It was recently revealed that the 38-year-old country singer welcomed twins with another woman while he was still married to estranged wife Alexis Gale. Jimmie and Alexis also welcomed their third child back in October, and he is clarifying the timeline of everything after it's been misconstrued online. So there's sort of a Sophia Bush vibe here. It's like he's correcting the record. Quote, the twins have a different mother. My friend Danielle, Jimmie revealed in a conversation with blank, I'll tell you in a second, in a video shared to his YouTube channel. I've known Danielle for years, way before I became Jimmie Allen. And at the time that she got pregnant with the twins, I wasn't with Lexi, and Danielle wasn't with her husband. So there's sort of similarities to the Sophia Bush story here because he's like, what the public conceived as cheating wasn't actually cheating. You didn't see the way things devolved and the way that like our relationships had evolved privately in a way that we didn't open up about. Kind of exactly what Sophia Bush said about her husband and her relationship with Alexis or whatever her name is. What is her name? Ashlyn? Okay. So I click on this video, which has like 50,000 views at this point, not many. And it is an hour-long interview, sit-down interview with a famous person on Jimmie Allen's YouTube channel. He is in the middle of like crisis PR 101 sort of. Actually, it's more like it's an advanced level that not everyone gets to, okay? Because he is trying to rehabilitate his career with something really vulnerable, right? I'm going to be really vulnerable and raw. I'm going to sit down with a respected journalist, and I'm using heavy air quotes even though she is a respected television personality. How about that?
Okay, sure.
Respected
is a real subjective.
Do you know who this is?
No.
In a Billy Eichner way, name a TV woman.
Barbara Walters.
Keep going, but honestly,
alive.
Joy
Behar.
Well, yes, because he's speaking to her at a dinner table.
Rachel, stop.
He's speaking to her at a dinner table. This is an interview with this woman that he uses to talk about his entire personal drama. He doesn't really bring up the sexual assault allegations because I think there's like litigation issues.
I can't name other women on TV.
A woman who used to be on TV all the time and then recently retired in the past few years and is now on TV much less. But she had
Rachel Maddow?
Her name was in the show and she had a co-host and her whole thing was being kooky, crazy. And guess what?
Kathy Lee
Yes,
Gifford?
and she loves country music.
So my Jimmie, here you are sitting at my bar,
yes,
my home in Tennessee.
I've been here before.
You've been here. We've had some great times here. But in the intervening months and years, you've gone through, some really tough times. Really tough times. I'm so happy you wanted to sit down with me because I said, Jimmie, I want people to love you again the way I've always loved you. That's my purpose here today, is for them to fall in love with you again because you're an amazing person.
Stop it. He had a conversation with Kathy Lee Gifford on his YouTube channel about cheating on his wife and having twins?
Yes. And
why is she
okay? So I was like,
what?
hold.
Where's the link?
I was like, hold the fucking phone. Where is this fucking link? Because
hold the phone. Hold the telephone booth.
And also,
hold the satellite.
When you think about it from a PR perspective, this actually is a good move because like the allegations against him are pretty strong and severe, and it's sort of like, well, he probably wants to talk to someone who is an upstanding, very like religious, high and mighty person. So if like Kathy Lee Gifford can forgive you, maybe America's willing to forgive this person. Okay. She met him years and years ago.
Outdated.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
outdated
okay.
in every possible way.
They're like the only one who can rehabilitate this man's image is Kathy. We have to like drag her out of like
Weird retirement. Remember when she started dating that like hunky guy and she was just like, I'm flirty and I love fucking my man or whatever. We go to music festivals. So
she really was giving Suzanne Summers. She still is giving Suzanne Summers. Yeah.
She was an early champion of Jimmie Allen. So like in 2018-ish, 2017, 2018, 2019.
She was like, I love his music.
She had him on Hoda and Jenna. I mean, Hoda and Kathy and Hoda. And was like, oh, I love his music because, you know, she's a singer and she loves Nashville and blah, 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 blah. She loves country music. And she was like, I love this guy. She had him on a couple times. At one point, it was one of her last shows. Like, this is 2019, I believe. And she was away and she needed someone to fill in for her. And so she called up Jimmie Allen and was like, fill in for me. And everyone at Today Show was like, wait, this guy is literally not famous. He has one song. I know you love him, but he can't fill in for you. And she was like, no, I wanted you. And you co-hosted with Hoda and you were wonderful. So she...
Did you watch this entire thing?
I watched the...
On on like twice speed, 3 times speed.
Yes.
Okay.
And he really does, like, he makes a convincing case. It's hard. It's very understandably very hard to come back from sexual assault accusations, right? And he... And if you read stories about it, because again, he doesn't really go into it. He references it vaguely, but it's like some of the cases have been settled. He's moved on. He apparently has a good relationship with his kids and the mother of some of his children and his ex-wife or estranged wife. Like things are apparently going okay, but his professional life is in shambles. And so he's using this to sort of rehabilitate it. And clearly, Kathy Lee Gifford is like, I support you. I love you, whatever. There's a part at the beginning where she's like, remember, Jimmie, remember what I told you the first time we met? Because you're just so cute and you're so talented. I said, watch out for the women. Watch out for the women. They're going to be the death of you. So there's a very weird sort of like... there's a very weird sort of like traditionalist angle here that she has where it's like, women are God's temptations. You know, like there's something strange.
I know. Well, the thing with Kathy is that she's religious and she loves to fuck, but only in like a committed, beautiful, God-sanctioned relationship. Like those aren't actually... You'd think those would be competing theories, but they're actually not because Kathy like does love God, but like... And she is horny, but she's only horny for like her betrothed.
Yeah. Betrothed?
Betrothed. Not like a troth.
She starts the interview. It's so random. There's no introduction. It's just Kathy Lee Gifford sitting at a table, drinking wine out of a glass with ice in it and a straw. Like it's...
They've definitely hooked up.
Starting the rumor here, Kathy Lee Gifford and Jimmie Allen have definitely hooked up. On this bar, probably.
I think so, on this bar.
God,
She's like, we've had great times on this bar. And it's like, yeah, I bet you have. This is a crazy video that you've
It is hard.
here.
It is hard to separate. It's hard to forget about allegations of abuse like that, even though in the video, he tells a very like harrowing and kind of nice story about his life and like the troubles that he's had and like the way that he powered through them and, you know, the relationship that he has with these women or whatever. But it's just like it's very weird that like that stuff is just like not mentioned. And I understand it's not mentioned for like a number of reasons, but it's like there's a weird disconnect in it. The whole thing is just very uncomfortable to watch.
Oh my God, his mom shows up at the end.
Yeah, I know. And he cries and she's there. She sits and talks with Kathy.
Meanwhile, Kathy is lit to the gods and Jimmie is lit like he's in a dark room. I don't like this. It's like, can we get a little light on Jimmie, please?
It ends with her because you get when you realize that she's been watching the whole time. Because she pops up in the last 10 minutes and then Jimmie sits behind her and then Kathy's like, oh, tell me about your son. It's just like, it's very weird. Anyway.
Yeah, I see him dabbing his face. He's crying.
This is why you have to click the links and then read beyond the headline.
No, I'm so glad that you clicked this
Because then you see sentences like, the twins have a different mother, Jimmie revealed in a conversation with Kathy Lee Gifford in a video shared to his YouTube channel.
Oh my God. And you're like, you're stopping dead in your tracks. You're like, ah!
I've never stopped deader in my tracks.
There is a dog on the table. So on his side of the table, there's a glass of wine, the bottle. On her side of the table, there is white
a dog
roses,
bed and a
dog in a dog bed, a weird clock, a big fern, a glass, you know, her glass with her straw. It's so funny how like it almost looks like they're speaking from different places.
When I talked to you just recently, we were talking about putting together this talk we'd have. I said, Jimmie, I just asked one thing before we meet. Please get a vasectomy. Please, sweetie, come on. And you laughed. You said, actually, I'm talking to a doctor about that next week. And I said, well, have him bring scissors. Because I'm not going to, you can't.
The doctor's here.
You can have sex with anybody
He's here. You
want
want to go get the doctor?
Jimmy.
The doctor's here now.
Yeah. So all that's taken care of, right? You're all good now.
I'm working on it.
Okay. Well, let somebody else work on it.
I got to set the appointment. I'm not doing the surgery.
I'll make the appointment for you.
But yes, it's you know. Then,
but you said I didn't mean to interrupt, but you said my whole family has 1 million kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's all through my family. They got 12 here, 13 here,
6
14
there, 12
here.
there. Oh, yeah.
So that's your culture.
Yeah, the Bible says be fruitful and plenty the earth.
No, it says be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
Nick Viall got married. I don't really care, but I do want to quote our friend Steven.
I knew you were doing this.
I had to find the tweet. He sent us this tweet a few days ago from Us Weekly, because this was a People exclusive story, but Us Weekly was covering the wedding as well. And they wrote, Bachelor Nation's Nick Viall is a married man after marrying Natalie Joy. And he wrote, a married man after marrying.
I tweeted this, by the way, too.
A married man
He's
after
a married man
marrying
after
Natalie
marrying.
Joy.
He's a married man after marrying Natalie Joy. They host like a very popular podcast, these two. I mean, they're like a thing.
I know.
I wish we could get rid of Nick Viall, but he persists.
I find him so cute. It's annoying.
Oh my God, you have a crush on him?
I have a crush on Nick Viall.
You have a crush on Nick Viall?
I always have. But he also seems himself
Since
for a
when?
Always. You knew this.
Okay, I don't remember this. This.
Such a cutie pie. Are you kidding?
Did you feel this way when he was you sound like fucking Rosie O'Donnell talking about Tom Cruise, like be an adult.
No, well he's like really cute. Look at him. But I find him annoying.
He's attractive. Well, that's
you
his
sound
whole
like Rosie
personality.
O'Donnell talking about Tom Cruise.
I'm sorry. Oh, he's such a cutie pie. He's such a cutie pie. Like, I can't tell if you actually are
yeah, of course, yeah.
hot for Nick Viall.
But the thing is, I'm not saying I'm hot for Nick Viall. I find him
You're
very
hot
cute.
for Nick Viall. You're hot for Nick Viall. Guess who attended his wedding? JoJo Siwa. Because they were on that reality show together.
JoJo Siwa's been doing her karma dance all around town. It's driving me crazy.
The couple's 170 guest celebration featured many familiar faces, including Bachelor Nation's Jared Hybun and Ashley Iaconetti, Ashley I, Ben Higgins, Victoria Fuller, who is also one of Joy's bridesmaids, and JoJo
Well, you remember
Siwa.
why? Because Nick Viall was famously in JoJo's chosen family, right? Her chosen family is Nick Viall
Is
and
Tyler Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her chosen family.
Alex Cooper got married, got a Vogue spread.
This is like the boring version, you know, of like what
Honestly,
we just
I'd
talked
much
about.
rather talk about Nick Viall getting married and JoJo Siwa's there than Alex Cooper and Matt Kaplan getting married in Mexico, and then there's freaky sand statues of her dogs.
Her wedding, actually, I'll just say this, had a strange, not any celebrities at her wedding. Like, despite it being in Vogue and all of this or whatever, almost the flex, it's almost a little bit of a flex there, because it's like, I can do this all by myself. I don't need to have Lance Bass singing
I'm the
one song.
celebrity.
I don't need, I'm the star. Yeah. I'm the diva. You don't need, no one else needs to be there. Just me.
I think
it's a little interesting way of putting it.
I think you are being generous. Because I don't know that we have any proof that Alex really even has many celebrity friends, you know?
That's fair.
Like, what do we know about this
fair,
girlie
right.
other than she hates Sophia with an I or whatever, you know? That she makes like tens of
you're
millions of dollars a year on her podcast.
You're right. She's actually, though she is interviewing a celebrity, she's not actually being like, oh, I'm hanging out with so many celebrities.
She's very much
never really
just a girly.
See that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of,
and she has to maintain her journalistic objectivity, you know?
Yes, she really is. She really is maintaining her journalistic integrity, unlike your crush,
Nick Viall,
who's not maintaining his journalistic integrity.
This headline I saw everywhere. Wait, which one? Oh, U2 star Adam Clayton announces his divorce from... Yeah, I don't want to read that. I do want to read this because I saw this headline everywhere. DDG talks about how he and Halle Bailey split their finances, says they don't aim for 50-50. And it's just like one interview that was given where he was like, I pay for a lot of stuff. We both got a lot of money, so it's not like we split everything down. It's fine. It doesn't matter. And for some reason... everyone took this as an opportunity to like yell at him or something, or yell at them, because this was covered everywhere. But all he's saying is like, we're both rich. So it's like, there's not this weird,
no, but you can't say this on the Shade Room. People are very, they're very conservative when it comes to gender politics.
Because he says I'm the boyfriend, I should pay for the Uber home or whatever. But also what he's saying is like, we literally don't stress out about this because we both have money. So
Wait, he did a 29-minute exclusive video interview with the Shade Room.
with the Shade Room.
Like he
yeah,
did.
no, this is on the Shade Room. Yeah.
Did you learn how to change a diaper
Yeah.
here, or with like your nephews?
No. This is my first time changing a diaper. I actually recorded myself changing my first diaper with him. And it was difficult, but then my mom showed me a few tricks where, you put the diaper under him first and then you take it off.
And then you gotta put
wipe.
something.
Yeah,
so
so
he
he don't
doesn't
pee. He
pee on
peed on
you.
me a few times.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Who does he look most like, mom or dad?
See, he be alternating. Like, like today he looked like her.
Okay.
Yesterday he looked like me.
People are like, he's a good dude. Daryl's a good dude. Shade Room know Daryl's a big deal.
I like him too. I don't have a problem with Daryl.
Daryl loves his son. They could never make me hate DDG.
Hallie loves him.
Been watching DDG since he was in college. This man never stops working and always puts family first. Keep grinding, King. DDG is a good father. Wait, he is incredible that he turned all, because there was a little bit of bad press.
People
but he
made fun of
turned
him
it
for
all
a very, very
around.
long time. So it's funny
But
that this
now
is
he's
sort of the
back.
tables have turned.
The hate be fake. We love DDG. Okay, maybe it was a little bit of maybe people are saying that like people came in to hate, but then the true fans will always be there and were there before and are there now. And it's like the haters have left because we got
The haters left the
distracted
building, yeah.
and left.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, we enjoyed this interview. We love it. He's so fine. King DDG. He's a good father. I'm like, okay, this is incredible. I'm just obsessed. Like, I feel like he got such bad press, and now everyone's like, he's a good father. I love him. All right, great. He's a good father. We love him.
Speaking of good fathers, we love him. Jason Ritter. These
Yes.
two, I've
mean,
nearly
they're-
reached my
it's-
limit with these two. As much as I like both of them, how many times do we have to be reminded that Jason Ritter supports his wife, Melanie Linsky?
Because it always comes up in interviews because people are obsessed with asking her about it. I'm serious. Like, she's doing press for the tattooist of Auschwitz. Wow. Okay. She's doing an exclusive with People. And of course, what gets pulled out of the interview is that Jason Ritter is a good husband.
Well, the specific thing that got pulled out was that
sacrificing his
he's
career.
turned stuff down to be like a better parent while she, does a lot of other work.
Right. And she's kind of like gotten her flowers as kind of a quote underrated girly when she was in Yellow Jackets and The Last of Us and all of that. And she kind of had her Jennifer Coolidge moment. I mean, everyone knows she's good, but she had kind of a, Jennifer Coolidge moment where she's kind of reclaimed by the culture.
She said the last few years we've had this role of like whoever's job makes the most sense, whether it's the most exciting career-wise or it's more money, we would prioritize that one that was going to help move the person's career forward. And currently she's the one in that position. Supportive King. What I find so funny and that some friends of mine talk about a lot is that like no shade to Melanie Linsky at all, but it is really funny that but it's like she starts Yellow Jackets, which is season 1 of a show that is like truly slay. Season 2 comes out that is like absolutely not a slay at all. But because it's Showtime, it's going to be on for like 11 years. And Melanie Linsky's definitely going to be stuck in this show that's making her tons of money that no one is watching.
Because it's Showtime, because Showtime like doesn't have anything else, and they're kind of like, we'll take what we can
Showtime
get.
just
with the
does
hopes that,
this
like,
with every show where it's like
they just drag it out.
Sometimes the shows end well. I think Homeland stayed good and Homeland had a great ending, but people always talk about Dexter lasting too long, Weeds lasting too long. They star these like powerful women who were amazing, but then like they get stuck in this, this hole.
What was she wearing? Where was she seen? She posted what on Instagram? She's the Who Queen. Tens of people want to know all about the number one Who. Lindsay, Bobby, tell us now. What's Rita Ora up to?
Who is this woman?
This is from the Poppage newsletter. Shout out to the Poppage newsletter, which is one of the true.
And shout out to Eleanor for sending it to us. I do feel like I maybe wouldn't have, sometimes I miss the newsletter. Eleanor said, hey, Rita's in the Poppage newsletter. Spotted at One Rebel. And thank you to Eleanor for saying One Rebel is a gym. It's a posh gym. It's like their Equinox in London. Spotted at One Rebel on High Street Ken, doing a full 45-minute reshape session in full makeup and not breaking a sweat. Rita Ora. Parentheses. She also had so much trouble opening her locker, staff had to be called in to come and do it for her. What's really funny is that one of these things is really relatable and one isn't. Not breaking a sweat in full makeup, doing 45-minute workout session, not relatable. Having trouble opening your locker at the gym, I've been there. Sometimes you can't open
It's
it.
so awful to ask for the key.
Oh, it's awful. And sometimes you're like, I'm in a towel, you're nude. You're like, please, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. Just please open my locker.
So Rita Ora, just like us.
Rita Ora, just like this, although very sus not breaking a sweat in full makeup during a workout routine.
Yeah.
Her stamina is incredible. We knew this already.
She is also going to be in a new
Cannes movie?
Well, it's one of those. Cannes is confusing, but they do this thing where they like
They paid for
No,
it?
they try to sell movies that aren't made yet at Cannes. It's like a early market Cannes buzz title, so it's like
What does
I
that
think it
mean?
means they try to make movie deals at Cannes before the movies are made, like secure financing at a big film festival. That's part of the thing. It's not just completed movies, it's movies in pre-production, like oh, they pitch a movie, it's got Marshawn Lynch, Jack O'Connell, and Rita Ora. Any takers? And hopefully there will be some takers,
Wait, so there's no movie, it's
No.
not premiering, it's not screening, it's just this movie is going to exist.
Yes.
It has a script, it has actors.
Yes.
Would you like to buy it? Oh, I'm
No.
not asking you.
Would they? Oh, no.
Oh.
It says XYZ Films, which made Blackberry, which was sort of a hit, will be handling world sales on Hebla Neon at next month's Cannes market.
This is the project we revealed last week from music video director Drew Kirsch, who came to prominence co-helming Taylor Swift music videos for You Need to Calm Down. Oh my God, love her. Taylor Swift has terrible music videos. And also helmed videos for Shakira, Charlie Puth, John Legend, Imagine Dragons, and Machine Gun Kelly. Oh, so they want a music video director's not made yet movie starring Rita Ora and Jack O'Connell to sell at Cannes.
Tale as old as time, though. Music video directors going into movies. Okay, thank you for listening to another episode of Who Weekly. Keep calling in at 619-WHO then to leave questions, comments, and concerns for our Friday show. Thank you to Katie and Eric of The Who's for providing our Rita theme song on Tuesdays. Thank you to Timmy, our research and editorial assistant, for researching and editorializing. Support us on patreon.com/whoweekly for bonus episodes, Discord server, commentary tracks, and more. Oh, pre-order Four Squares wherever you get your books, out June 18th from Putnam. And that's it. We'll see you on Friday. 619-WHO them. Bye.
Bye.
You will dream it.
They wanna know. Hey. 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 I want to be famous.